basement kitchen. The child opened the bedroom door an inch and hissed, "Yes, missus?" "Fanny, tell Rosie to bring us some more candles immediately and make up the fire," ordered Mrs. MacDonald, "and bring another kettle of water and a trivet to rest it on." "I'll do fire afore I go downstairs." A hand with dirt-engrimed nails gestured through the narrow opening of the door towards the brimming coal scuttle by the fireplace. Mrs. MacDonald was shocked. "Good gracious me, no. A young one like you can't come in here, send Rosie up to do it." "Ah, go on with yous. I helped me auntie last time." "Don't be so forward, young woman," snapped the midwife. "Get down them stairs and tell Rosie." "She ain't gonna like doing my job. Fires is my job." Fanny shrugged, her thin lips curved in a grimace as she turned to do the errand. She was stopped by the sound of a querulous voice from the bed. "Mrs. MacDonald, ask Fanny if Miss Florence has arrived yet, or Miss Webb, or Mr. Woodman." The voice sounded flustered as Elizabeth named her husband. "Nobody come to the front door, ma'am, not since Doctor come an hour ago," piped Fanny. "Where is everybody?" muttered Elizabeth exasperatedly. She moaned as another bout of pain surged up her back and round her waist. Mrs. MacDonald answered her soothingly. "It's early hours yet, ma'am. There's no hurry, just rest yourself between the pains." Elizabeth grunted and clutched the bedclothes. The thud of Fanny's big feet on the long staircase seemed to shake her and added to her fretfulness. Would the girl never learn to walk lightly? Mrs. MacDonald picked up a clean sheet and leisurely began to wind it into a rope. She looped this over the mahogany headrail and laid the twisted ends beside Elizabeth's pillow so that her patient could pull on it when the need to bear down became intense. On the bedside table by the candlestick lay a new wooden rolling pin. Mrs. MacDonald knew from experience that mothers giving birth needed something to clutch when their pains really began. "Dr. Willis should have stayed. He knows I need him," Elizabeth complained as the surging misery in her stiff body subsided. "He promised to look in again in a couple of hours, ma'am. Would you like a cup of tea, ma'am?" "I'd rather have a glass of port." "I wouldn't advise it, ma'am. It might make the baby sleepy." Elizabeth sighed. "Very well, I'll have tea." "That's better. I'll make a good strong brew." Mrs. MacDonald moved through the shadowy room to the fireplace to put a small black kettle onto the fire. On a side table lay a tray with a flowered teapot, a tea caddy and cups and saucers. The midwife liked to have tea handy and not be dependent upon a faraway kitchen. Tea always diverted a patient, made them feel that something was being done for them. A soft knock at the bedroom door announced the arrival of Rosie, the housemaid, bearing a kettle of water and a brass trivet. Several long white candles stuck out of her apron pocket. She had not yet finished her lunch and was cursing her employer under her breath as she waited for Mrs. MacDonald to bid her come in. As she entered, Rosie composed her face. She handed the kettle, trivet, and candles to the midwife and then made up the fire. She made a polite bob towards the bed and turned to leave. "Rosie," called Elizabeth from the depths of her supporting pillows. "Ma'am?" "Tell Maisie to show Miss Webb straight up when she arrives. You will all take your instructions from her. I also want to see my daughter, Mrs. Browning, when she comes. Tell cook that both ladies will probably be here for dinner." Elizabeth paused to take a big breath as a stab shot through her abdomen. Then she went on, "And Rosie, none of the servants is to leave the house without cook's permission." She twisted suddenly in the bed and arched her back. "Ah!" she cried. Waiting to be dismissed, Rosie stood woodenly facing her, while the spasm passed. "Blow her," she thought, "just when I were thinking I could nip out a few minutes to see the Queen. And Miss Webb is a single lady. She won't want to come into a birthing room any more than she'd want to look into a midden full of garbage." Mrs. MacDonald wrung out a cloth in cool, scented water and began solicitously to wipe the patient's face. Elizabeth pushed her impatiently aside. "Has Mrs. Ford come?" she gasped to Rosie. "Yes, ma'am. She's been waiting in the kitchen this past 3 hours." "Send her up. I'll see her while I can," Elizabeth ordered pessimistically.